총만 울린다. 그만하자. 부탁이다.
Some of these webtoon K-drama adaptations were perfect. Others, total disasters. Let's rank the best and roast the worst. First up, Cheese in the Trap started off strong. Like, really strong.
야, 니네 방학 동안에 진짜 많이 친해졌나 보다. 응?
아니요, 자리가 마땅해요.
우리 사겨.
어?
It had a hit webtoon as its backbone, a talented cast, and a moody psychological vibe that had fans hooked from episode 1. But something bad and unexpected happened. The story follows Hong Seol, an ordinary college student, and Yoo Jung, her mysterious, maybe too perfect senior who gives off serious, is he nice or secretly dangerous energy. It had all the right tension, the mind games, the slow burn romance, and then the drama completely derailed. Instead of digging deeper into Yoo Jung's complex personality, the spotlight suddenly shifted to Baek In-ho, the second male lead. And not just for a few scenes, like, the entire second half became about his tragic backstory. Fans were confused, and honestly, kind of furious. Even the webtoon creator Seung-ki publicly called out the production team for straying so far from the source material without her input. By the end, the finale offered zero closure, character arcs were left hanging, and Yoo Jung basically disappeared from his own show. It went from psychological drama to a second lead redemption arc with zero explanation. Long story short, Cheese in the Trap could have been a K-drama classic, but it ended up being a messy adaptation that left everyone disappointed, especially those who knew how good the original story really was. Up next, Weak Hero Class 1 is hands down one of the rare webtoon adaptations that actually gets it right.
물체의 원심력을 이용해 타격 지점에 더 큰 충격을 줄 수 있다.
Based on the webtoon Weak Hero, this drama doesn't hold back. It throws you straight into the brutal, unfiltered world of school violence, bullying, and trauma. Park Ji-hoon, he didn't just act. He obliterated his idol image with a raw, gut punch of a performance that carries the whole show. And guess what? That's just one of the shocks this adaptation has in store. Because what happens next? Yeah, you're definitely not ready for it. The story follows Yeon Si-yoon, a seemingly quiet and fragile student who uses his brains and sheer willpower to fight back against bullies in the most unexpected and intense ways. What really makes Weak Hero Class 1 stand out is its tight storytelling. With only 8 episodes, there's no filler, just straight-up tension, well-executed action scenes, and emotional weight. The series stays loyal to the dark tone of the webtoon, while also adding just enough depth to make the characters feel even more layered. If there's one complaint, it's that the ending leaves you wanting more. But honestly, that just speaks to how good it is. Overall, Weak Hero Class 1 is one of the strongest K-drama adaptations out there. Gritty, smart, and surprisingly heartfelt. No wonder Weak Hero Class Season 2 is one of the most highly anticipated comebacks, and everyone tuned in. Now, let's talk about something that totally caught everyone off guard, in the best way possible.
팔이요. 팔 보여주세요. 팔.
Sweet Home wasn't exactly expected to be a breakout hit. A monster apocalypse unfolding inside a crumbling apartment complex? Sounds niche and a little chaotic, right? But against all odds, it totally delivered. Based on the popular webtoon of the same name, the drama masterfully blended horror, action, and raw human emotion. It wasn't just about jump scares or creepy monsters. Sweet Home dove deep into the psychological state of its characters, showing how inner demons can quite literally become real when people are pushed to their limits. What really makes it shine as a webtoon adaptation is how it captured the core themes and tone of the original story. That chilling mix of dread, despair, and reluctant hope. The drama didn't just copy the webtoon frame by frame, it expanded on character arcs, added new layers to the plot, and brought the nightmarish world to life with haunting visuals and strong performances. The transformation of residents into monsters based on their innermost desires stayed faithful to the webtoon's concept, while the added backstories made the emotional impact even stronger. Fans of the source material were impressed, and even those new to the story got hooked. It stayed true to the webtoon's emotional complexity while turning up the cinematic intensity. The result? A bold, bloody, and weirdly beautiful ride that became a global hit and a shining example of how to do a webtoon adaptation. All right, here's where things might get a little spicy. Business Proposal was an absolute rom-com treat, no doubt about it. But is it a good K-drama adaptation?
왼쪽이 사만다, 오른쪽이 레이첼이에요. 거금 1,000만 원씩 들인 애들이랍니다. 아, 이런 또라이는 처음이지.
The story kicks off with Shin Ha-ri, played by the ever-charming Kim Se-jong, an ordinary office worker who agrees to stand in for her glamorous BFF on a blind date. Plot twist. Her date turns out to be Kang Tae-moo, aka Ahn Hyo-seop in full CEO mode. Handsome, intense, and, oh yeah, her boss. What follows is pure chaos. Fake dating, secret identities, and a slow-burn romance packed with laugh-out-loud moments and swoon-worthy scenes. The drama quickly won hearts thanks to its lovable leads, hilarious side characters, and just the right blend of comedy and romance. It's the kind of show that makes you giggle, blush, and maybe scream into a pillow, in the best way. But, and here's the curveball, if you've read the original webtoon, you'll know the drama took some creative liberties. In the webtoon, Hari's disguise is actually sharp and convincing, which adds more tension and stakes to the whole double identity situation. The K-drama, meanwhile, went full throttle on the goofy disguises and slapstick comedy. It worked for the laughs, sure, but it veered away from the sleeker, more layered vibe of the source material. Still, even with all the changes, Business Proposal is a fun, feel-good watch that absolutely owns its rom-com lane. Would it have been nice to see more of the webtoon's juicy plot points? Definitely. But if you're not a stickler for accuracy, this drama more than delivers on the entertainment front. Now, let's talk about True Beauty. And yes, hot take incoming. The drama was actually better than the webtoon. I said what I said. The plot centers on Lim Joo-kyung, played by Moon Ga-young, a high school girl who masters the art of makeup to hide her bare-faced insecurities. She transforms into the school's goddess by day, while secretly battling self-esteem issues underneath all the contour. Things get complicated when two very different but equally swoon-worthy guys, Lee Soo-ho, portrayed by Cha Yun-woo, and Han Seo-jun, played by Hwang In-yeop, get caught up in her world. Cue the love triangle, emotional growth, and a whole lot of K-drama-style heartache and healing. Now, don't get me wrong, the webtoon was a total hit and definitely had its moments. But the drama, it took things to a whole new level. The characters felt more grounded, the emotions hit harder, and the love triangle had actual depth instead of just bouncing between pretty faces. Plus, the casting was chef's kiss. Moon Ga-young brought real nuance to Joo-kyung, making her more than just a makeover cliché, and both Cha Eun-woo and Hwang In-yeop brought serious heart to their roles. Another win? The drama toned down some of the over-the-top webtoon antics and gave us more emotional payoff. The friendships, the family moments, the slow-burn connections. It all came together in a way that felt sincere and satisfying. Where the webtoon sometimes leaned into style over substance, the show gave us both, and wrapped it in a glossy, binge-worthy package. Okay, let's talk about a good day to be a dog.
하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 성공!
And if you're thinking, wait, is this the drama where the female lead literally turns into a dog when she kisses someone? Yep, that's the one. And if you've caught some not-so-great reviews, well, yeah, this is that drama too. Based on a quirky, heartwarming webtoon, this drama had the potential to be a total fantasy rom-com gem. But somewhere along the way, things got a little rough. The premise? Hee-na, played by Park Yu-young, is cursed. Every time she kisses someone, she turns into a dog at midnight. The curse can only be broken by a second kiss from the same person. Well, she's a dog. Enter Jin Seo-won, portrayed by Cha Eun-woo, a seemingly cold teacher with a deep fear of dogs. Of course, he's the one she accidentally kisses. Cue the magical chaos. Sounds fun, right? And the webtoon was a perfect blend of funny, heartfelt, and surprisingly deep. But the drama? Let's just say it felt more like a half-hearted walk than a full-on adventure. The show had strong visuals, and the chemistry between the leads was cute, but the pacing? Super uneven. The emotional stakes and fantasy elements that gave the webtoon its bite were watered down, and the whole curse plot felt more like a quirky side note than the driving force of the story. Even the supporting characters, who had great arcs in the webtoon, were underused or rushed through. And don't even get me started on the weird scheduling. Delays and an irregular airing schedule totally threw off the momentum, which didn't help an already wobbly plot. In short, A Good Day to Be a Dog had the bones of a great fantasy rom-com, but the drama adaptation didn't quite unleash its full potential. It's a light, breezy watch if you're in the mood for something different, but if you're looking for the richer story from the webtoon, you might be left chasing your tail. Lastly, let's talk about Yumi's cells, because this K-drama pulled off something not many adaptations can.
그냥 애초에 시작을 안 할래.
이번엔 진짠 줄 알았는데.
It stayed true to the heart of the webtoon and added its own magic. But just when you think it's all light and quirky fun, it hits you with something you never saw coming. The webtoon itself is already a standout. It's comical, creative, and surprisingly deep as we get a front row seat into Yumi's thought process through her brain's inner crew, her cells. From rational cell and emotional cell to love cell and even hunger cell, each one represents a piece of her personality, making her internal battles hilariously relatable. And here's where the drama absolutely shines. It did justice to that theme and visual style in a way that felt fresh and charming, not awkward or off-putting. The blend of live-action and animated cells could have easily gone full cringe, but nope, they nailed the tone. The animations weren't just cute, they were clever, emotionally resonant, and often stole the show. They added depth to Yumi's decisions, relationships, and even those painfully awkward moments we all go through but rarely admit. Kim Go-eun as Yumi, perfectly cast. She brought a grounded, vulnerable, and quietly funny energy that made Yumi feel like someone you'd root for every step of the way. And the drama didn't just follow the story, it expanded it. The characters were more fleshed out, the emotional arcs had weight, and it respected the pacing of the original without rushing to fit into typical K-drama tropes. The question is, who's truly meant for Yumi? Yeah, we're not ready either. Click the video to see if your favorite webtoon K-drama stars made it into our top 100 most talented K-drama actors list. Some of these leads seriously carried the show.